Hi, this is Rachel from Kiss Me Deadly, and today I'm going to be talking about how to repackage lingerie. Now, if you sell lingerie online, you're going to find that items come back out of their packages. A certain proportion of the items that you sell will always be returned, just for fit issues, or perhaps because somebody took it out of the packaging and only at that point realised that in fact the style's not for them. It happens. Here at Kiss Me Deadly we deal with that as well. We also lend items for photo shoots, promotional purposes, and the chances are that even if they don't get used, they will come back without their packages because they'll have been opened and looked at. Now, you don't want to be leaving any item of clothing for any length of time in an environment like a warehouse that probably has cardboard and dust. It's just not clean. You will end up with lingerie that you just can't sell on. It's not in good condition, so the way around that is to repackage items as quickly as possible. I do an awful lot of this, so I've developed a few tricks along the way. Now, the absolute first thing that you need to do is to check the garments for any signs of damage. This is really crucial. You do not want to be selling anything that's damaged in any way. I have already checked this item. In fact, I took it out of the package myself, so I know it's all right. The second thing, and equally important, check the size, check the style. Now, our items don't come with style information on the hang tag, but you can always check on our website. We do try and list everything. The size you'll find in the labelling. I've already checked this one. It's a size medium. So at this point I can start to repackage it. Now, you really want to be working with the fabric. You don't want to be creasing it any more than it has to be. So lay it out flat, have a clean surface. What I've done here, because we are set up for posting, so our packing benches, you can't really wipe them down very effectively. If I take this away, what you can see is we've got plyboard here. So I've put down this sheet of tissue paper. Actually, anything would do as long as it's clean. If you've got a surface that you can wipe down sensibly, just give it a quick wipe. Make sure that you're not packaging clean items on a dirty surface. Now, to package up something like a pair of pants like this, turn it over so that it's facing downwards, so I've got the back facing me. I start with the gusset. I fold this in towards the waistband. What I'm aiming for here is a nice square or rectangle. Take one side, fold it in, take the other side, fold it in. Lovely. At this point, I need to pop it into one of these. It's a clear plastic bag. These are actually clean enough that you could put your lunch in. Genuinely, they are food safe, though I don't recommend storing food and lingerie in the same area. So we'll slide this in, trying to avoid any unnecessary creasing. And once it's all the way in, turn that over, check that it's laying nicely, and at this point just slide the hang tag back in so that you can see it. That's really useful for identification later, especially if you're storing things from multiple different brands. Now, I said earlier this is a size medium, so before I go any further, I'm going to take just a little label that's got the brand and the size on it, and we're ready to seal this up. The less air you can have in this, the better. It means you can store more in a smaller area, so that's always helpful. The best way to do that, to fold the excess plastic over, just gently press down, get out as much of the air as you possibly can, and to make sure that it stays that way fold the top over twice like that. At that point you need to stick it down. Any sort of sticker will do. What I've got are these lovely little plastic circular stickers. They're virtually invisible once you've popped them on, and they're reasonably secure. From the front, a really neat package that is usefully quite square, which makes it easy to store. Now, that's briefs covered. They're nice and easy. They don't have any kind of boning or structure to them. Things get a little bit more complicated when you start to work with bras. This is a Violet Divine bra. It's got underwiring along here, and it's got boning sections here. Now, I'm going to turn it over again. The first thing I'm going to do is check the size. This is a 36B. And then I'm going to fasten it up. Much easier to work with garments when they're fastened in the way that they want to be. Now I'll pull this hang tag down and out of the way, so we'll want that for later. And I'll just start to neaten it up by putting the straps inside the cups like that. And that keeps those out of the way as well. Now at this point, the easiest thing to do is to fold it in half. It really likes to do that, and what you end up with is these underwires underneath each other. And because this is a moulded bra, what you can do at this point is push, and you should find that one cup can just sit inside the other. You'll need a slightly larger plastic bag for this, but the same principle applies. We're just sliding it in gently. You'll notice there's actually only one fold I've made in this. I don't want to crease or fold anything any more than I have to. Much better to let it sit the way that it wants to. Now, once that's in there, we can think about sealing this up. I will again pop the sizing label onto it. It's good practice to make sure that you keep the sizing labels, roughly speaking, in the same place. Just makes it easier when you're trying to find them later on. Now, with the bras, don't squash them. Give them a little bit of room to manoeuvre. You don't want to be hurting the way that the cups sit later on. Now, I actually already had a little sticker on there, but same principle, folding the top over twice, sealing, and you're done. Now, last but not least, for much larger items like this is one of our Tempest Rose cinchers. You really are going to need a massive bag. The other thing to watch out for is these suspender straps. They're metal, like everything we produce, and that makes them quite vicious. If you're not careful, they can rip through bags, so it's best to keep those out of the way. Now, if you look, you can see we've got boning here, here, all the way along. Don't fold this. It's really not good for the garment. We're going to have to make sure that this stays flat and secure and not folded at all. So, again, fasten it up. We also have long line girdles, which don't have any boning in them, but they are about as long as this, and they do have this long line of hook and eye tape, which is what I've just done up. Now, if you only have a small amount of it, it's quite easy to work with. If you have a lot of it like this, that actually becomes quite hard to bend. You can see that doesn't really want to go. So it's best to avoid folding this as much as you can. Obviously with this garment we've already got the boning, so we know we can't fold it, but this is something to bear in mind for items that don't have any other boning. Now, if I lay that out, what I'm going to do to deal with these straps, I'm going to fold them all in so that they lie on the back of the garment. And what will happen is that I will, once they're all in, I'll then start folding the sides in. So it doesn't need to be much, it just needs to make sure that they're out of the way. So there's one, there's another. You'll find that the item naturally folds along the fabric, and the boning isn't hurt at all. And once you've got it like this with the straps all hidden, it's time to find the largest of your plastic bags, slide this in. I've cheated a bit on this one. I should have looked at the size, but I actually already know it. This is another size medium. So there we go. Now you want to be a bit gentle with this. You don't want the boning or the straps poking through, but you still want to get the air out. So just do it gently. Take your time. You can probably hear that all coming out. Fold over once, fold over twice, and for something this big you really want to secure it in two places. So one on one side, one on the other, and that, once I've put my size label on it, is just about perfect. Now I hope you found this useful. I'd love to hear what other people do, so let us know, and thank you for watching. Bye.